Congratulations on the purchase of your KidzLock. This instructional video will take you step by step through the easy installation process of the KidzLock assembly to a sliding door. Please have the printed instructions handy to refer to along with this video for additional installation details. First, ensure that all of the assembly parts are included as detailed on page 2 of the instructions. Note that 2 sets of screws are included. One screw set is for installation in a sliding wood door or frame application, and one set is for installation in a sliding metal door or frame application. The tools you will need for this assembly are a power drill, 3 drill bits sizes 5/16 inches, 7/32 or 1/4 inches, and 5/64 inches, a 7/16 wrench or adjustable wrench, a Phillips head screwdriver, a tape measure, and a pencil for marking. You may pause this video at any time and re-watch the installation steps as needed. You'll first want to decide how far off the floor you'd like your KidzLock installed for your child's safety. We recommend about 6 feet, but you can install at any height that's comfortable for your own reach so long as your young children will not be able to reach it. First, take a look at your sliding door. The hole for the KidzLock shaft will generally be drilled 2 to 3 feet directly above where the manufacturer's lock is, and is generally the same distance from the edge of the door as the manufacturer's lock. The side of the door where the hook should be located is determined by your existing sliding door configuration and any screen door provision. The hook will generally need to be installed on the side of the door that is closest to being flush with either the outside or inside wall when the door is closed. In order for the KidzLock to function correctly, the hook and hook bolt should be installed on the side where you've determined there is less sidewall space between the sliding door and either the outside or inside wall. Typically anywhere from the door being perfectly in line with the wall or as much as 1 inch to 1.5 inches offset. Refer to the printed directions for additional considerations for your sliding door before proceeding with installation. Let's locate the position and drill the hole for the KidzLock shaft. Open the door and mark the height on the door where you will be installing the KidzLock. Next, cross-mark the distance from the edge of the door at our selected height to where the manufacturer has centered its existing lock mechanism below. Usually this will be anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches from the door edge depending on whether the door is wood or metal. Now close your sliding door and roughly align the location marked for drill in the KidzLock shaft hole with the hole in the KidzLock hook over where your proposed hole will be drilled. You'll then want to make sure there is enough space on the opposing wall to install the KidzLock hook bolt. If there is not, move the shaft hole location closer to the edge of the door to accommodate the requirements. Make sure that it feels like the KidzLock will be securely anchored when it locks. The hook bolt is installed 2.25 inches from the center of the shaft hole to be drilled through the door. If the opposing wall where the hook bolt is to be installed is metal, you'll need to determine if there is wood or other material behind the metal for the hook bolt to be screwed or anchored into so that it may be made secure as a standard installation. Using the 5/16 inch drill bit, we will now drill the shaft hole completely through the door. You may use a smaller pilot drill first and drill a smaller hole initially and then follow it with a 5/16 bit. Next, take the shaft and insert it through the hole and make sure that it turns freely. Next, hold the back plates in place on the door and mark the location of the 2 screw holes for each one. Leave the shaft in place to make sure that the back plates are installed with the shaft in the center of the back plate center hole. If the back plates are incorrectly installed so that the back plate binds on the shaft, it will make the KidzLock mechanism difficult to turn. Then drill the appropriate holes of each backplate screw location, using the 5/64 inch drill bit to a depth of approximately 3/4 inch. Notice that the shaft has a metal collar in the center. You'll want to position the shaft through the hole so that the metal collar is flush against the door on the same side of the door where you will attach the hook. Next, install the backplates and make sure that the shaft turns freely in the hole. Note the installed backplate on the hook side of the door fits over and covers the metal collar on the shaft. Next, install the KidzLock knob on the non-hook side of the shaft by sliding it flush to the backplate and tightening the set screw with the hex wrench. Notice here that there is a flat side to the shaft. The set screw should be tightened against the flat side of the shaft and the knob positioned so that you can read the KidzLock inscription on the knob. To determine the location of the hole to be drilled for the hook bolt, slide the KidzLock hook loosely over the protruding shaft, through the hole in the KidzLock hook. This would be on the side of the door where you are installing the hook bolt. Close the sliding door. Line up the hook parallel to the floor, position it, and mark the location on the opposing door jamb or frame where you will drill the hole for the hook bolt. The hook bolt should be positioned so that the hook easily goes over the hook bolt when the door is completely closed, as well as positioned so you can read the KidzLock logo. You can slide the hook in or out along the shaft to help align and position it so as to best determine the hole location. The hook bolt is installed 2.25 inches from the center of the shaft hole to be drilled through the door. Next, drill the hole for the hook bolt using the 7/32 inch drill bit. You should drill this hole approximately 1.25 inches deep. Next, install the hook bolt with the 7/16 inch or adjustable wrench part way, leaving plenty of the hook bolt shaft extending from the wall. This makes sure there is room for the final adjustment of the hook on the hook bolt. Next, place the hook over the hook bolt and adjust the hook's position on the shaft so that the hook is positioned to be slightly less than snug against the opposing wall so that the hook bolt won't bind against the wall when in use. Tighten the set screw on the hook, making sure that the set screw is tightened against the flat side of the shaft. Next, install the other knob flush against the hook and tighten the set screw, also on the flat side of the shaft. You can now test the working mechanism a couple of times. Note that your KidzLock may be installed with the KidzLock knob's position in either a horizontal or vertical position. Either is correct and depends on your visual preference. The knob position can be changed from a vertical install to a horizontal install by simply changing which end of the shaft you insert in the shaft hole. Finally, finish installing the balance of the hook bolt with the hex wrench so that it is screwed into the wall far enough, and so that the head of the hook bolt is just short of touching the hook when the hook is resting on the hook bolt. Push the snap-on hook bolt cap to complete. Congratulations on your successful KidzLock installation. Please refer to the printed instruction guide included for more detailed information on specific sliding glass door considerations and other helpful install techniques.